Hey guys, it's Shadow the Rat, and in today's video I wanted to go ahead and give you a quick update on these foster rats. So for those of you who don't remember, back in, I'm not sure when, it was a few months ago, I think it was 3 months ago. So back in early summer, I ended up taking in these 4 girls because the lady who gave me 2 of my other girls, Mocha and S'more, ended up having to move on short notice. So she needed to rehome these girls really quickly, and so I volunteered to go ahead and take them in and help socialize them some because 3 of them were very skittish, and then adopt them out myself. However, as you can probably tell, that didn't really go to plan. I have decided to keep them, and that was for 2 main reasons. First of all, I decided to keep Coconut early on. She's super sweet and super playful and just kind of became one of my heart rats, so I couldn't give her up. But the problem there is these girls here, all 3 are very skittish, so depriving them of the only confident member in their group just really isn't fair because they really thrive on having other confident rats to copy. And honestly, they wouldn't make great pets for someone. They don't really have good pet temperaments. Coconut does, obviously, but the other 3 girls don't. Sometimes they'll still squeak when you go to pick them up. Most of the time they won't now, but especially when I first got them, they would completely flip out if you touched or picked them up. And that was not the fault of the owner, that was just the fact that they're very timid rats. These 2 girls actually grew up in her oops litter, and even so, they're very, very timid. Even though they've never had any sort of issues or bad experiences with humans, they're just timid by nature, which does happen, unfortunately, and it is something that you see more common when your rats are coming from oops litters, pet stores, and so forth. Both these 2 girls are the daughters of this girl here. Anyways, like I was saying, I did decide to keep them, and that was one reason. And the other reason I decided to keep them is just because I really couldn't find anyone that I could trust with them. I did have a few responses, a few really promising ones that were just too far away, and a few others around here that were just pretty shady, which unfortunately meant that I wasn't comfortable adopting them out. Either the people would want them free or want to keep them in a tank in one case, which was, you know, not ideal. And another person wanted to actually use them to breed for their pet store, which, again, I'm not going to give them away for a pet store to breed them. First of all, their genetics are completely unknown. Their temperament is pretty poor for pets in the case of these 3 girls. And Coconut's a feeder rat, so of course, again, genetics unknown. And, you know, the whole issue here was started because Peaches was pregnant. Anyways, I told them all no, I didn't want them to be bred. I didn't want them to be kept in poor conditions. And so, in the end, I just decided it would be easier to keep them. Honestly, they do better in a large group. They are more rats. They're a lot more skittish when people, but they're really good with other rats. They're really accepting of other rats, and they really prefer to just be with a large group. I definitely see a difference when they're with the whole group. When they have all the other confident rats around, they don't mind being pet or touched as much, just because they kind of take their cues from the other rats. So they wouldn't really do well in a home where it was just them. And I don't think they would really do well if they were forced to be the center of attention. Here they can kind of, you know, do their own thing. I don't force too much on them just because it stresses them out, but they have definitely gotten better. I do think they'll continue to get better, but for now they're definitely more, you know, like I said, they're more into interacting with the other rats than people. They have started to learn some tricks, which is pretty cool, so I do have high hopes that they're going to kind of continue to get there. Sorry, Coconut is not happy. But I do have high hopes that they'll continue to tame down. Not Coconut, she's already good. But the other girls, I hope they'll continue to tame down. And I hope that one day maybe they'll reach the level of my girl Cream, who was initially very skittish, but by the time she reached around a year old, she was a lot better. And the babies here are 8 months, the mom's around 10 months, and Coconut's around a year old, so that kind of gives you perspective age-wise, and I have had them for around 3 months. Okay, I have to wrap up this video quickly because they're going to jump off otherwise, which I have a funny story about that later, but basically I just ended up losing one of them behind the bookshelf on their first night home trying to take a picture. I should have learned my lesson. Anyways, like I said, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and end this right here, and hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing them again. Expect to see more of them. I will be doing more trick videos with them now that I know for sure that I'm going to keep all of them. And here's another shot of the girls. Coconut! Hi! Hi, Coconut, so cute.